said I'm gon' do. Pretty little body, it look better on you. Might have to blow it like a feather on you. What a force, ooh yeah, you better come true.
All right, guys, here we are. We're ready for It's a Family Affair. We want to say welcome to each one of you today for joining in. We're so excited about what God is doing, and I hope you guys will really be a part of our show on today. And guys, we want to ask that you make sure to share with all of your family and friends, and share everywhere you go. Share everywhere you go, and make sure that the people know what's going on. Well, we're going to kind of move along with the conversation of singleness. Everybody knows this is a family affair, and you can view us on the Blue Stream, and we're gonna get this together in a little while. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little bit nervous this evening, but we're gonna get it together. First of all, we're gonna start off with just a few nuggets. Mr. Joe Williams is our guy that loves to set the atmosphere for what God is getting ready to do with us. And guys, he has a host of nuggets in his bag. As a matter of fact, I wish you guys could see this bag he brought us today. It is absolutely amazing. I don't know where we're at. Man, it's a bag of nuggets that he brought in here. Wow. And you guys are going to know what we're talking about in a little while. He shares some things that are just absolutely amazing. And you may want to get your pen and paper down for jotting those things down. So Mr. Joe's going to open us up today and kind of share with us those little things and help us to get going. And then Mrs. Faith is going to come in. So, Mr. Joe, if you can take it from me so I can stop being so nervous.
The thing about it, I was, kind of debating on what I was going to talk about. And, as I was coming, you listen to music and just kind of getting into the flow of things. And I got a text from my son, and he says, "Love you, Pops."
Oh, cool.
It's not that he doesn't do it all the time, but it was right on time, and so it kind of led me into the thought of, love is not a virus we catch.
Y'all better catch him, I'm telling you.
I'll say that again. Love is not a virus we catch. It's a virtue that we're supposed to live by every day.
Yeah.
That's important. You should love. And the essence of what we're doing is God, and God is all about love. So, what's my point? What's your point, Joe? My point is this. Life without love is zero.
Yeah.
Zero has never been a hero, folks.
Yeah.
We got to...
Wait. You said what? Zero has never
been a hero.
You know what? We've got.
I'm telling we can't even jot down fast enough to keep up with him.
Zero has never been a hero.
Zero has never been a hero.
Zero has never been a hero.
Yeah.
The thing about it, as we turn our hearts to God, and that's so important, folks, that we turn our heart to Him, and He inadvertently turns His heart back to us.
Yeah.
And what I was talking about, showing love every day. That would be easy because, first of all, we will carry Him in our heart.
Yeah.
And nothing else will have room. Everywhere we go, we carry love.
Yeah.
We're the essence of love.
Yes.
I mean, Jesus Christ walking, move everywhere we go.
Yes.
We spread it as we go.
Yeah.
As we go, we move in it every day. And it makes life really what it's supposed to be about.
Yes.
And that's essentially why we're here. We're here to share life experiences, singleness, all of that. But the one thing we learn is this, that you can make yourself better. You can be better every day by feeding yourself the things that you need to do the walk as Christ did.
Yes.
And once we walk in that, oh gosh,
yeah.
It's endless.
Yes.
It's endless. Everywhere we go, we spread love.
Yeah.
And that's day to day. People you meet, you showing Christ every day. And that's easy if you're seeking Him.
That's right.
And walking with Him.
Amen.
He putting that love in there. and it's just amazing. It just makes you move from left to right or however you want to move it. It's just walking in that. And it's a wonderful feeling. It brings, your heart is much better. Your smile, your whole countenance is so much better.
Yes.
And
it is good.
You looking at me funny over here.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But
Anytime we start talking
sir.
about the love of God, it kind of takes you into a different
takes you-
atmosphere. And I was thinking about Joe was talking about his son called, and when he came in, Mr. Alvino, he's not here with us today, but he left definitely his presence, and he left this song Commission. It's called "'Tis So Sweet,"
Yes.
and the melody that came in
Yes.
with that, it helped
Yes.
to remind us. So God does little bitty things
Absolutely.
to remind us that I'm there with you.
Yes.
I'll never leave you
Yes.
or anything. And today we're going to be talking about that place in our single lives
yes.
to where we can experience the love of God in
Yes.
spite of feeling like you may be alone and by yourself or
Right.
whatever. Because one of the things that I'm learning is singleness is a state of mind.
Yes, it
That's
is.
all that it is,
Yes.
and it's up to you to, I guess, figure out how you want that to play out in your mind.
Right.
It's not a place where you have to feel lonely or anything like that, because there are so many circumstances that has caused us to be in certain places that
Right.
we are in, and it's not always bad.
No, it's not.
All of
No.
us are above the almost. Alvino is our baby, y'all. I can finally start calling other people the
He is our
baby,
baby. Yeah,
but
that's
Alvino
right.
is our baby in the group. But we're all at that place of almost 50 years old.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
life in the 50s
Right.
and 60s is a little
thank you.
bit
Thank
different
you for
than
that.
probably what it was before. So
Yes.
we're going to see if we can't dive into that. And then you guys wonder, why they smiling so much
Oh,
all the time?
gosh.
Man, we got some secrets in
Yeah.
this world
Yes.
that it is better to have the peace of God than have the disturbance
Oh,
around
that's right. That's
you.
right.
So,
Some things you call under the blood.
yeah, under the
yeah.
blood.
Under the
yeah.
blood, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah. Faith, why don't you tell us how we can kind of join into the show, just in case other people are trying to figure out where to
Okay.
find us all the time.
All right, I'm ready to go forward with
Amen.
that. Those of you who have family that might or should join into our podcast today, you can reach us on the internet at www.fbrn.us and then go to the Blue Stream
Yes.
where you can see us live. Also, you can check us out on my Facebook Live page and also Marilyn Pettigrew's
Yes.
Facebook Live page. And we do have a Facebook page, and it's a family affair, and it's I'm sorry. IAFA. Yeah, I'm getting it together.
Radio show.
IAFA.
Radio show.
Radio show. Okay, that's one thing I did not write down.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
we have so many Facebook pages.
Yes,
I
Lord.
just can't keep up with all the social media. I could just stay with Facebook. I'm on Instagram, but I'm not on Instagram.
I don't know how to work Instagram just yet.
And I might be on LinkedIn every once
We
in a
say
while,
might
but
be.
not all the time. But we also have an app. The Fishbowl Radio Network has an app that you can put on your phone and just click into the Blue Stream and see us on there. So
Yeah.
that's another way you can get to us. Also, on the second half of our show, we're going to open up the phone lines today.
Yes,
So
yes.
as we get closer to our second half, I will give out that phone number then. I just don't want to give it out now because we're not ready.
Not ready.
We're trying to get technically together.
Yes,
Miss
yes.
Marilyn, Miss Joe. Albino, we're giving you a shout out.
Yeah.
But we would love for you to share if you're on Facebook watching us. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
We are on the air every Saturday from
Yes.
5 to 7 Central Standard Time and also 6 to 8 Eastern Standard Time.
Amen.
So I think that's about as far as we can go on how to reach
How
us.
to reach
Unless
us.
you want to come up here and watch
I
us.
know. You can come stand in the window and watch us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But guys, you know
What?
where we're at? We're in this beautiful city of Arlington, Texas. And guess what's outside of our window on one side of it? That big old AT&T Stadium.
That's
It-
right.
Yeah, the Cowboy Stadium is over
Beyonce,
here.
I think they're coming soon.
Is she coming soon?
I hear.
I heard they're coming soon.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what we're gonna do during the football season, but that's on Sunday.
Yes,
Most
on
days
Sunday.
on Sunday,
Yeah,
we'll be here on
that's
Saturday.
right.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
To my right is Six Flags
Yes,
Oh,
over
it
yeah.
Texas.
is. Yeah.
And how many nights high school nights we used to be in Six Flags. All my Fort Worth high school friends, Southwest, Poly, Dunbar,
All right.
Oh my gosh, she's a
right.
Dallas right for real, y'all.
Yeah. We used to come when they had 2 for 1 night.
Oh my
I
God.
can't have it anymore.
Probably not. I don't know.
Faith, you know, I haven't been to Six Flags since I was a
haven't
little
either.
girl.
Really?
I
You
think
might
they
need to do that.
I think they scared the dog out of me the first time I came, and my brothers, we went up on that big roller coaster, and I
Which
have
one?
that
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know
the
which.
runaway mine train.
Oh my God. My mind probably was running away more than anything, but I remember
Yeah.
that, and it's like,
Oh,
nah,
yeah.
I don't think that was a good memory. So
You still remember that?
I still remember it. I remember I don't want to get back on it no
That's
more.
right, that's
So,
right.
but
it's not on your list of priorities.
yeah.
I see
Yeah.
some of my classmates out here from Fisk University.
Do you? Yay!
Yeah, I
Well,
see some of my Fort Worth friends out here, and also one of my dear sisters in the Lord,
Amen.
Evangelist Sheila Wood Scott.
yeah. Shout outs to
Sheila,
all of them.
Dorinda, Rita, Marty. Marty's
yeah.
the top. You remember Marty Edwards? Hey, Marty and Perry. Preacher
She got-
Perry,
y'all-
Pastor Perry Crenshaw.
Hey,
I see her.
guys, if y'all go out there and read our bio. Who is Mrs. Faith? She's the international girl.
That's exactly right.
No,
Faith know everybody.
I'm
She got-
embracing that now.
Are you embracing
Yeah,
that?
I am.
That's a beautiful
You
sound.
know, I just got back from Orlando.
Tell us about that, Faith.
On Wednesday. You know, guys, I just want to share with my family, my radio family, my family. I just thank God for just being so gracious and merciful to me. You know, we all have a vision. And, you know, as the Word of God says, to write the
write it
vision down,
down.
make it
That's right.
plain.
Yeah.
That's
Put
right.
it, hey, you can write it in many ways. It can be
Right.
on a piece of paper.
That's
You
right.
can write it in your heart. You can have it in your mind. You can dream about it. I did it all, and
Yeah.
I dreamt about this for 4 years. I wanted to get my certification under John Maxwell, and so I went to Orlando last Sunday and went through the process, and I came back with my certificate. I'm so
Yes.
excited.
That's
But
right.
what I'm excited about, it's about empowering others. It's
That's
about
right.
helping others.
Right.
It's about making a difference
Yeah.
and pouring into others. It's not so much about me.
Sure.
I'm out the way, but God did it because
Yeah.
it was some boundaries there that I couldn't do, and
Yeah.
it took me 4 years
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
that completed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
not because I was in the program. It took 4 years
Yes.
to get the vision,
Right.
just
To get the
come-
vision
just
together.
to get there
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Orlando. But I met so many beautiful people
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
It was an international conference. I met a lady from Poland, South Africa, India, a guy from India, from Kenya, England,
Yeah.
Atlanta,
It's all over
Georgia.
the world.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was people from all over the world, and you. Some of my Facebook friends are probably tired of me doing a live. I did lives every day.
Yes, she did.
I
Yeah.
was going off, but
Yeah.
please excuse me. I was just
That's
excited.
okay.
But the thing that really, really hit my heart, and I had tears in my eyes, the theme of the international certification program this time frame was unity
Yeah.
through diversity.
That's
Yeah.
And
yeah.
the time that we're living in right now,
right. Right.
where things are divided, our country is becoming divided.
Yeah.
Things that we thought were in the past are and
surfacing
not really
back
subdued,
up.
but they're
Yeah.
surfacing
Right.
back
Yeah.
up, and they're
Yeah.
surfacing back up strongly.
Yeah.
And to see
That means we almost put just a Band-Aid over it. It
That's
wasn't
right.
really
That's
fixed.
right.
It was just a Band-Aid
Yes.
that's
over
right.
it.
That's
Yeah.
right. And so
Yeah.
for John Maxwell and his team of leaders to believe so strongly on being diversified
Yeah.
and being unified and to have service,
Yeah.
we praise God on Tuesday.
Yeah.
We had a worship service.
Yes,
It was
yes,
about 2,000 there in
Yeah.
the conference that attended, and over 300 gave their lives to Christ. Came
Yeah.
down,
Oh,
either
yeah.
gave their lives to Christ for the first time or
Yeah.
rededicated their life.
Right.
Live. It was just absolutely blessed.
Yeah.
Oh,
it,
by
it
far.
was.
You
It
know
was.
what?
I wish y'all could have been there.
I
with
know.
me.
I
would have
Like
loved to have
Mr.
been
Joe
there.
said, tell everybody what you told me. I was
I
feeling a
told
little
her.
apprehensive, but Joe kind of put the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
I
Share
told
it.
her to take the team. I said, take everybody that ever loved you.
Yeah.
Take, whether they still living or are dead, take
Yeah,
all
take
of them
'em
with
with
you.
you.
And
Yeah.
they'll be right there with you.
That's right.
Anybody we love or have loved us, anytime you go into situations, take them with you.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
that's-
took Mama with me.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I know you did.
Yeah.
You were there too.
Oh,
Joe.
yeah.
With your head on.
Oh, yeah. I was
Yeah.
trying to.
Yeah, y'all.
But
That's
it's
the,
all good.
That's the beauty of singleness, because what we all have in common that's on the radio show here is that each one of us are single, and that's what we wanted to dedicate this month to, for you guys to get to know us, to understand where we are in our different walks, and that is the joy of being able to take your life back to a place to where you start
That's right.
enjoying,
That's right.
the things that you've been wanting to do. Because a
Yes.
lot of times, I don't know about you guys, but I've heard countless stories or been in the midst of it in marriage that where the things that you have wanted to do in life, sometimes your life has to change for the
Yes.
betterment of the rest of the family,
Right,
and it's like many women I have talked to, they've literally lost their dreams because I don't think they lost the dream. They made the sacrifices
Yes.
that maybe my dream would come to pass a little bit later on.
Right.
And being in that single state like that, you get a chance to focus on what it is that
Oh,
you want to
absolutely.
do. So I would really, admonish a lot of people that are in that place of singleness to enjoy it,
Yes.
embrace it as much as you
Embrace it.
can.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
And,
right.
and while you're there, I always say the largest room in the world is room for improvement.
There you
And
go, y'all.
You get to the point. You want to bring your belief system, your attitude,
Yeah.
become a better you.
Yes.
It's okay to have higher standards.
Yes.
And if people really want to be in your life, they'll
Yeah.
come up to those.
They will. Say that again, Joe.
Yes. It's
Say that again.
yes. It's okay to have higher standards.
Yes.
Because if people ultimately want to be in your life,
Yeah.
they'll rise up to those
That's
standards.
right,
All
that's
they want.
right.
And that doesn't mean that I'm snooty.
That's
No,
right,
no.
that's right.
It's just standards
Yeah.
and principles that you
This is what
live
I've been
by.
working on
This
in
is
my
what
life.
I'm working on.
That's
principles.
right. That's right.
Maybe I didn't have them before, but I got them
Ooh,
now.
did you
And
hear
can
me?
work
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
And that's one thing you can't dispute is principles
Yeah,
and laws.
yeah.
And these are applicable to anybody that want to achieve them.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what I'm
That's
saying.
right.
Yeah.
We learned that methods are temporary.
That's right.
Principles and laws are eternal.
Eternal.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, these are principles.
Yeah.
I mean, the things that we can share that we know is not going out and coming back void.
That's right. That's
Because
right.
these
They
are
ain't
God's
never
laws.
going out of style.
Never going out of style.
Never going
Yeah.
out of
So
style.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess what I'm saying, in your singleness, work on yourself. Make you a better you. And whatever that is,
Yeah.
if there was injuries or hurt or pain,
Yeah.
put that behind you.
Yeah.
Behind you.
Work on it.
Work on it.
You know what,
Yeah.
Joe? One of the things I think about when it comes down to hurt or different things, we have to take ownership to
Yes.
our part
You
in it,
better believe
because you can't always go in and talk about what somebody else has done
No,
wrong. The
no.
only thing that you have responsibility for is your own actions in it.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
And take that back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we have to take ownership of it, and we're heirs to our own actions.
that's right. That's
But
right.
ownership, that's called growing
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Joe, would you say that it's hard for men to take ownership of things that have possibly happened as much as it is? I know Faith and I can probably talk for women, but for men, is it sometimes hard for them to own up to maybe failures or mishaps or different things like that in life?
I think so. I think, our society really, says that basically, it's the way a man was raised.
Okay.
Back in the day, I guess you were under, whatever you under, that may be all they know. But that ain't not enough.
Yeah.
You may come under the father, grandfather who have raised that was like, men don't supposed to show no emotion. You're supposed to bite bullets. You're supposed to be tough. Even if you you know, you don't band-aid, so you just let it go out wild and not cover it.
Right.
So if you under that, you don't have to be under that.
That's right.
You don't.
That's
But you,
right.
as a person,
Yeah.
to grow up, you got to take ownership of
Mm-hmm,
that. And even if you was taught that, that's not the end of that.
Yeah,
You need
yeah.
to go and spend time with your Heavenly Father.
That's right.
And He will guide you, protect
That's right.
you.
That's right.
And lead you in a whole different direction.
Yeah, yeah.
And we always talk about, you know, you got to grow a backbone and not have a wishbone.
That's
we always
right.
say, and that's growing up.
That's right.
That's taking
right.
ownership. That's taking your authority back.
Yeah, yeah.
And being the best man you can be.
Joe, have you ever thought that sometimes, and the reason I'm saying this, I get a chance to interact with a lot of people on my job and different things like that, and sometimes there's chaos when it comes down to the male-female responsibilities or whatever, and a lot of times when women have male dominant leaders that's over them,
Right.
and there comes a time to where there's a misunderstanding that's in it, and it takes us a moment to go back and understand where that person may be coming from. And there's just one gentleman that comes to mind that he's very militant about how he manages, and it's like, you do as I say.
Right.
You don't ask any questions.
Right.
You don't do any of that. So much to the point to where it has brought a lot of fear in the room, you know, when he's there or whatever, but and he's not recognizing that he's got everybody in this fearful place. And a lot of it could be because that's the way he was raised. He's only doing what he knows to do.
Exactly
As a
right.
man,
Right.
that's what we do. We take position, and we don't worry about the emotions that people have. We just do what needs to
That's
be
right.
done.
That's right.
But not understanding, you got to blend in this world with other
Absolutely.
people.
Yes.
Yes.
On the jobs and
Yes.
everywhere.
Everywhere
So
you go.
yeah.
But he has to recognize that in
Yeah.
himself
Yeah.
and figure out, I need to fix this.
That's right.
But until a person bring that out into the open, they don't think nothing is wrong.
yeah,
Correct.
And
I
then,
believe that.
yeah, they don't think nothing is wrong.
yeah,
And that's not good because
yeah,
you run people off.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you shouldn't have to be in a situation and be fearful all
Yeah,
the time.
I think about women a lot of times. They've been
yeah.
in marriages to
Yes.
where
Yes.
it's like they're in a corner all
Yeah,
the
they
time.
are.
They don't have a voice. That's
No,
exactly it.
no.
And then especially if we're caught in the church,
Yes.
and the church tells you to what? Be submissive.
Be submissive.
Do what you've been asked to do, told to do, or whatever. And sometimes Faith got a look on her face right
yeah.
about now.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, Faith?
Yeah, come on.
Something
with it.
struck a nerve
Oh,
over
yeah.
there.
No, it didn't strike a nerve.
Yes, it did.
No.
Yes, it did, Dr. Nerve. I mean, why you moving your hair?
I know she moving her hair and everything over
Dr.
there.
Nerve.
No, I just, I feel that sometimes there could be a misinterpretation of what the definition of submission.
Yeah.
Yes, and sometimes the definition can be used to the advantage of the person who's giving the definition.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that we just have to have a clear understanding
Yeah.
about what submission is, and it's not about one person bowing down
No.
to another.
That's
it's
right.
about a partnership.
It's a
Yes, it is.
partnership.
And I feel that I could be submissive. I have to be submissive to a lot of people. It's not just to a mate.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to be submissive to my boss.
Yeah.
It's just having an honor and a respect.
Yeah.
Yes.
With that relationship,
Yes.
courtship, like we've been talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
in our mentoring
Yes,
sessions.
Yeah, that's
yes.
right.
About courtship is not only a man and a wife
Yeah.
or
It's
a
on the
man
jobs.
and a woman. It could be the relationship of friends and also
Exactly.
family.
All of
So
that.
I think sometimes that some people take that to the extreme as
Yes.
far as being submissive and use it to a negative sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's nothing negative about submission. I think it's a beautiful thing to be submissive to
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah, it is.
And it shows honor and,
Yeah.
and
To be
respect.
accountable to one another.
And accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and there's
Go
nothing
ahead.
wrong with being accountable.
No,
That's right.
it's
You know,
not.
I think that's some of the things while we're in our single state that we need to be working on,
Yes.
so that if that is a desire for you to have a mate, that you understand what type of accountability
Yes.
God is talking about,
Yes, that's
because
right.
you've actually worked on that, with yourself.
Right,
So,
right. And I think as you work on this, if we're talking about this domineering type of personality,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not good.
yes,
From
yeah,
the standpoint is, if you that dominant over someone, they're never comfortable with you.
yeah,
I mean, you make them uncomfortable. And at a certain point in time, we all get to the end of our rope. And it gets to the point that you got to get away from that.
yeah,
And people don't even understand why you're getting away from it. I mean, you can tell a person all day long they need to change. But until they see it for themselves, it's just like pouring water on the duck's back. It
yeah.
just rolls
It just
off.
roll right off.
It don't mean
Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
because they think, no,
yeah.
I don't need to change. You do.
You need,
Right.
yeah,
And they stuck on that.
Yeah.
Whatever it is,
I
is
don't
a man.
need help.
I don't need no help.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you- and some will say that boldly.
yeah,
And
yeah.
even if it mimics somebody they being under, I've seen people say, well, he acts just like his dad. Well, that's who raised him.
Right.
And whether he raised him right or not,
That's who
That's
raised
who
it.
he is.
Yeah, yeah,
And even if you point it out, he don't want to see that.
yeah.
and it's
Why do you
sad.
think that's so, Joe?
I think, first of all, there's no growth. If you don't, the same consciousness that creates a problem is not the same consciousness that fix it. You got to bring it out. If you never bring it out, you keep it concealed. And
Is
it
that
just grows.
is that a sign of weakness?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's definitely that. I think that if they admit something, they think they're less of a man. When in
Okay.
essence, they're more of a man.
They're more of a man.
But
yeah.
it's the world system
yeah,
that
yeah,
he bought into.
Yeah.
He haven't bought into the spiritual realm.
yeah.
The
I mean,
kingdom of God.
The kingdom
Yeah.
of God.
Right,
Actually.
right.
Yeah, because they're not seeking those things.
Yeah.
If you don't seek something different, you're going to remain the way you
You
always
do.
been.
Faith, do you think that, us, at our age and in our stage,
Yes.
have there been times where you have found, especially when it comes down to dating, that we're running across a lot of men that are not accountable to anybody?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you also, you probably have some friends that are not accountable to anybody.
Meaning them or
Or just to each other.
To
I
each-
mean,
okay.
And then you always have different types of friends. You have some friends that you connect to some people for a period of time because they might need you, or you might need them, or it might be just a glimpse of time in your journey
Yeah.
that you all are connected. So you have friends in your life at different seasons for different different things. That some friends are there for eternity.
A lifetime.
You're gonna go to
Yeah.
the grave with
That's
those,
right.
with those
That's right.
friends,
That's right.
And I think those are the friends that you are more accountable to because they know you. They know you back when. You grew
Yeah.
up together.
Together.
And even though you might not be together on a daily basis, or even it might be a gap of time of maybe 10, 15, 20 years
Yes.
since you've seen them.
Yeah.
Those people you can always run into and you just pick up
It's
where
still
you
that's
where
right.
you
That's
left
right.
off. And they accept you. They love you unconditional.
Unconditional.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think unconditional love, we're losing that.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and everyone has a microscopic eye, on you and looking at
Trying
everything
to
you
find
do,
fault.
trying to find fault and
Absolutely,
judgment.
yeah.
And guess what? We don't have a book on this journey.
That's
some
right.
people write about their lives, but that doesn't mean it's going to apply to my life
That's right.
holistically.
That's right.
That's right.
So, it's a work in progress.
Yes,
on
it is.
how we're walking down. You're saying as far as dating is concerned,
Yeah.
the dating game at our age is quite different than when it was
Yes,
before I got
yes,
married.
yeah.
Years and years
Yeah.
ago. But and it's really a process because when I first got separated, I was just trying to find out what happened.
Yes.
What
In the
happened to my
relationship.
relationship?
Right.
Why am I here? What did I do? Trying to assess where I was, as far as me
Right.
and who I was going to become and where I was going and how I was going
Right.
to pay bills.
Right.
Those
Right.
things, and take care of my daughter.
Yeah.
Those were the things that were important to me. And as those areas of my life got more balanced,
Yeah.
then I think
You were more ready.
I was more ready
Yeah.
to have a
A
relationship.
relationship.
Yeah.
Faith, do you think that a lot of times we are putting ourselves out there before time? Especially
yeah.
because I think about singles are in a prepared state for a lot of different things. And one of the things is survival. You're
yeah.
just coming out of divorce and you got these little children or teenage children or whatever. And the agenda of our lives right now is to survive.
Oh, by
It's
far.
not a place where
That's
we
right.
can invite too
No,
many
you
people
can't.
into that space.
No.
And because you have, I think about people that are incarcerated, okay? And by no means am I looking at marriage as incarceration, but they've been in a set place for a long time.
That's right.
Life has been moving all around them, but they've had to be in this structured place for a
That's right.
long time.
That's right.
And when they get out and they become free, everything around them has changed.
Yes.
That's how it is when you move from marriage
That's
to
right.
singleness again.
Yeah.
It's like you are moving into a whole new world
Right.
that, what, an iPhone, what's that? Or
Right.
friends, what's that?
Yeah.
You go out to dinner by yourself? What is that? I'm not used to doing any of that. Paying bills? I don't know where to pay these bills at.
That's true.
Everybody's in a different state. And so we're having to learn all over again, who am I?
Yes.
What is it that I like now? I know when I was with Johnny, we went out to eat fish every Friday night.
Right.
I ain't tell Johnny I ain't like eating fish. And so now I'm getting the opportunity to go and maybe enjoy some other things in
Sure,
life
sure.
and then not feel so bad about what I like
That's
with
exactly
me
right.
now. So
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like you come back to your
sense.
individuality,
Mm-hmm.
and you really start finding out about yourself. And sometimes, I don't know, not about me, but it might be in other situations where you might lose yourself because
Yeah.
you're all caught up into your partner's
Yeah.
life, feelings, beliefs, who that person is, or help building that person up, where you lose yourself
Yes.
in that time frame. But God does it. That's why we have to accept it. I think that for me, I can only say for me, that when I separated from my ex-husband and I totally left the geographic location of where we were living, it was easier for me to do my
right.
thing. It was easier for me
Right.
to get healed. It was easier for me
Sure.
to forgive.
Yeah, that's right.
And I feel that the sooner you forgive, the better off you are
Right.
holistically. God is able to do some things for you
Right.
that he can operate more fully in your life
That's
when you
right.
don't have that baggage,
Yes.
all the
Yeah.
hurt, the shame, the disappointments,
Yes.
all that baggage. You don't have all that extra weight on you.
Yeah, that's right.
So then God can take you
Or
into
failure.
or failure.
That's right.
I mean, you've dealt with it. You moved on. But when you live in that same environment where your exes, where your friends were, where you went to church, sometimes I wonder how difficult it is when you are separated and you're under the same ministry, and your ministry, you love it so much that you don't want to get separated
That's
from
right.
your ministry, but the ex is
Yeah,
there.
that's right.
Yeah.
You're not going to stop going
No.
to your church
Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah.
And it's different. I know it has to be difficult.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is,
But
okay.
I'm glad that I did leave the
Yeah.
environment. I think it helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it's you go from the familiar to the unfamiliar. But I think in all of that you grow.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's important.
Yeah.
I think, and somewhere in there too, Faith, I think the other thing that's important, you have to forgive yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
get to the point of forgiving yourself, and like you said, you got to forgive them.
Got to forgive
Yeah,
them.
it ain't you mandated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our Lord and
It's a
Savior say
must.
you mandated
That's
to.
right.
If
To
you're gonna
forgive
follow
them.
me, so if you're gonna follow Him, it's not optional.
Right.
You don't have an option in this one.
Yeah.
And you know the weak won't forgive,
Yeah.
You know, forgiveness is a qualification of the strong.
Of the strong. I believe that, Joe.
Yeah,
It
I
is.
really
It's
believe
absolutely
that.
is.
I do too.
And you put it behind you. That's it's, forgiveness is not for them. It's for you.
Yes, yes.
Even if they don't accept it,
Yeah.
you did what
Right.
you're supposed
Did
to
your
do.
part.
You are doing what God orchestrates you to do.
That's right. That's right.
And if I'm going to walk in the things of God, then I got to follow His instructions.
Yeah, yeah.
He said, Joe, you don't get a pass, Joe Williams.
You know, Joe, not to say, you know, we're walking in the way Christ would want us to walk and establishing and building up our character in those areas, excuse me. But I think that, you know, because of situations that happen and things might be negative, sometimes we stumble on the way as a Christian.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do stumble walking down that road.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's why iron sharpens iron. That's
Yes,
why
it
we
is.
have that accountability.
Yes.
That's why we have, hopefully, friends or
Yeah.
or family. And it might not be blood family. It might
Yes.
be, you know, our extended family
Yes.
to help us
Yeah.
get back on track.
That's right. That's
Because
right.
you know, I wasn't always, you know, walking in straight
Yeah.
and narrow
Yeah.
Oh,
my whole
absolutely.
life, and
Yeah.
even after my situation, it was times where my mind wasn't all right.
Yeah.
I just have to be honest.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, that's
you have
good.
to do a mind check, and
Yes,
you
you
have
do.
to do a heart check, and
You
you
sure
have
do.
to.
Yes.
You know, that Bible might sit on your nightstand for a couple of days
Yes.
and not get zipped
And not get touched or
touched
anything.
open, you know, because you're just upset, you know,
Yeah.
about these years that you feel like it's
You
gone down the
wasted.
drain, you know. And here, even today, 58, you know, you can go back and say, well, you know, and really beat up on yourself
Yeah.
for the decisions that you made.
Yeah. Yeah.
And every decision that we make affects our family,
Exactly.
our children,
Sure.
whoever's
Exactly.
around us. So,
Yeah, and I think I was reading this article. I was sharing it with with you guys this morning about. It was I had never heard of this before. There's a prison. I'm not quite sure where it's at. It's Baker's something. Where
Yeah.
there are mothers that are raising their children in prison.
Yes.
And
what? I
they are
can't believe
Yeah.
that.
I know they're single mother. Well, I don't know for sure if they're single or not,
Right.
but these mothers are raising their children in prison. They said it's maybe only 4 of them in the country to where they have a
Wow.
nursery that's there. But the ladies were telling the story about how they got caught up. A couple of them had drugs in their car,
Yeah.
pregnant at the time,
Right.
had drugs in their car
Sure.
and was stopped. And they were telling the story about what was going on before the drugs came in. And they said that there were times when the children were needing to be fed and they just had basic things in life that they needed. And there was no male there to cover them.
Right.
And these ladies took matters into their own hand. And so now they're in prison. And the babies were going to have to live without him. But this system that they have, they've actually let these babies come in. Y'all, if you ever get a chance to go out there and YouTube it, it is going to bless your life.
Wow.
What blessed my life more than anything was not that the ladies were in prison, but about how good they look because they
Right.
had those babies next to
That's
them.
good,
The
yeah.
children don't even know that they're in prison.
Absolutely.
They've got them in a set environment, but the ladies look so healthy.
Yeah.
They look
That's
so
good.
good. The
That
babies
is.
look like they have been, you know, there's a difference in a child that that grows up sucking a bottle and one that's breastfed.
Right.
They look different. They
Yeah.
look a lot healthier. These babies look so healthy. And I'm saying all that to say a lot of times in life, we go down different roads and
right.
we don't know where the roads are going to take us.
Right.
But this road got these ladies in prison.
That's right.
But I look at how God has provided a way.
absolutely.
We may not look at that as a
Right.
provision from God, but I believe it
I believe
is.
so,
Oh,
too.
Yeah,
I do
because
too.
we don't know where we're going to end up in life. And I was hearing Faith talk about during this journey that we take in life, even in singleness, if we will give God a chance, He'll
Yeah.
send some people down our path
Oh, of course,
that will
of
help
course.
us to understand
Yes, that's right.
what has taken place
Yes.
so that it can move the hurt out, so that we
Yes.
can be healed,
Healed.
and that we can be ready to move on with
Move
our
forward,
lives, you
yes,
know. But
yeah.
I think it takes a prepared
It does.
place in our heart that's set aside to let God come in and, Lord, bless us whatever way that you want
That's
to bless
exactly
us.
right.
So,
Yes.
Right. I know that I was just doing some reflection and just thinking when I was going through my darkest hour after leaving Virginia Beach and going to Woodbridge, Virginia. I had a church family
yes.
that was so awesome, and it was named the Ark, your place of safety.
Yeah.
And that was my place of
Oh.
safety in Maryland, in
Yeah.
Odenton, Maryland, and Bishop Fulton was the pastor, and his wife Becky, and they were just awesome. The whole family at the Ark. I could name off, but and Bishop Palmer and Pastor Barbara and Pastor Stephanie and Frank. I can go on and on and on, but we lived in Woodbridge, Virginia. That church was probably maybe an hour 15 minutes away from my house.
Wow.
And we would drive from Virginia to Maryland to go to church every Sunday.
Wow.
But I sat there and listened to the word
Yeah.
and let the Holy Spirit
Just heal you.
That's
from
yeah.
the inside
That's
out.
right.
That's right.
And
That's
Akia
right.
was there with me. And it was, during a time where it was very, very stressful
Yes.
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
And like you said not too long ago, Marilyn, when you separate, a person has lived with another person and their life was organized in a certain way.
Yeah.
Some women don't know how to pay bills.
That's
they
right,
don't know
Faith.
what to do,
Yes.
how to get a place to live. They've never lived by themselves. They left their parents' house and went straight to their
marriage.
husbands.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they have developed this family. So it's so important that we stress in our family, it's a family affair, to talk about the life skills that we need in order to establish
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
to be fruitful in our day-to-day lives.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
right. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That being prepared for where it is you're going. I think one of the first thing you have to finally get up off the floor.
Yes.
Dust
Yeah.
yourself off.
Right. And,
Dust yourself
And
off.
get a vision.
yeah, that's right. You
Get a
don't.
vision for your life.
Yes.
Get a vision.
Don't die where they leave you.
Yeah.
No, Joe.
Yeah.
Don't die at all.
Not where
No,
they left
don't
you
die
at.
where they leave you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when things happen, you're gonna do one or two things. You're gonna either move on or be miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you don't want that.
Yeah.
Because life doesn't have a beginning. Life don't have an end. It's
Yeah.
only the passion of life. You got to
Yes.
get back in the flow of life.
That's right. That's right.
And you can do that, like she was saying.
Yeah.
Get in a relationship with your Heavenly Father.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cry out.
That's right.
If necessary,
That's right.
cry out.
That's right. That's
and he'll
right.
hear your cry.
Yeah.
And then you start to get in his face.
Yeah.
Turn your heart to him.
That's right.
And
That's
as
right.
you go with him, your eyes are open.
Yeah.
Probably better than they were before.
Yeah, it's some
Oh,
other
yeah.
stuff that I
And
enjoy out
everything
here.
starts to clear up
Yeah, yeah.
on this course
That's
that we
right.
call life.
Yeah.
And then you see, and one thing you don't want to do is this: he who worships the past will remain in it. Don't worship the past.
Don't
anymore.
worship the past.
'Cause if
And
you
Joe,
go-
tell us what you mean by that.
If you go back, can you change anything? The past
Wow.
is the past. That's why they call it the past.
That's right.
But the future
Yeah,
is ahead of you.
is ahead of us. Yeah,
And
Yeah.
the thing about it, we all have situations.
yeah.
But life doesn't have to end.
Joe, I talked to so many ladies in the mentoring program behind the scene that it's like life is history is repeating itself. They're going through stages of trying to understand who they are, and now they're in a relationship, and things are not always going the way that they want it to. And one of the great gifts that one of the things that God has blessed me with in my single state is to be able to pass the baton to other people and to let them know that you can make it through this,
Yes, you can.
and then to let God give you a few more valuable nuggets of weapons that you can use. First of all, finding joy in who you are.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't define your happiness in nobody
Nobody
else,
else. That's
you
right.
know, and then going in in and letting people be individuals.
Yes.
There was something that Bishop Jake said on Sunday. We were talking about talking about our prayer life. And he said his wife, there were many times when he would go in the kitchen and he would find her kneeling over in the sink praying. And, you know, he's walking up very slowly. They don't know he's coming or anything. And he said he left her alone. He said, I can't come in just because I'm married to her and invade her prayer life.
That's exactly
or
right.
invade her life
That's
because
her
that's
personal
her
space.
personal space
her
that's
personal
there.
space,
And I
yeah.
think that in our single state, we have to learn how to respect
Yes, that's right.
another person's individuality.
Yes.
The way I do things, the way you do it, it may be totally different.
Yes.
But when we respect one another, we bring about maybe a different flavor to the house, meaning there was more than one way to bake that cake or cook
skin a
that,
cat.
skin a cat or whatever. But when you don't appreciate
Right, that's right.
a person, he said that you're being too nosy in
Yeah,
somebody
that's right.
else's business.
Sure.
And I think in our single life, one of the things of getting back is get back your individuality.
That's right.
And let other people have theirs as well.
Sure.
Because sometimes we grow up with mama, daddy, and if mama was controlling, guess what we are? We're controlling just like them.
That's right.
If daddy was one that was overbearing, we tend to marry people just like our dads, all of
right.
that,
That's
and not
right.
understanding
That's
that
true.
you have a choice in the matter
Yes,
with
you
things.
do.
Oh, yeah.
And singleness is a choice
Yes,
that you,
it's a
you
choice.
know,
It is.
because,
And in that too,
Go ahead.
not cutting you off.
no,
Mary.
go ahead.
In that too, in each and every one of us, you have to find that place that no one,
Yeah.
absolutely no one violates.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
It's a place within you. You don't get a chance to talk to me any kind of way.
Ooh, you better speak
right,
that, Joe.
You don't get a chance, whoever you are. And let your no be no and your yes be yes.
Joe, I got a hit right there. Do you find women doing men like that? I know
absolutely.
women find men doing it,
Right.
but do men
It
find
can-
women doing it
yes,
too?
It is.
Yeah.
They can have that. I mean,
Yeah.
And that's again, like I said, I just believe this. I think a woman wants a man with a backbone. That's
Yeah,
just my
yeah,
thought.
yeah.
I mean,
backbone,
you
Yeah.
know,
yes.
they want somebody to stand up to them.
Yeah.
In a nice manner.
In a-
I'm not-
in
I'm
a
not
respectful
talking-
way.
in a respectful way. Because I think that runs both ways.
Yes, yes,
And you got
yes.
to know that.
That's right.
important. But
That's-
again, it's a place within of us that nobody needs to violate.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's that place where you meet God.
That's right. That's
Nobody
right.
gets a chance to violate that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you stand on that.
That's right.
And
That's
if they
right.
violate that, you got to ask the question, why are they in your life?
Mm,
Why
I
are they
wonder
in your
how
life?
many times, Faith, do we ask that question? Why is an individual in
In
our
my life.
lives?
Sometimes we ask that question when we're in awe of something.
And not at the beginning.
or, you know, that person brought some value to us.
Yeah.
And we might say, oh, wow, thank you, God, for bringing that person
Yeah.
Yeah.
in our lives. Or we can say, why did you bring this person into my life?
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's not always a negative that we ask that question.
Right.
It's a question so we won't miss it.
Yes, yes.
We want to know, you know,
What is our purpose?
What is
Yeah.
the purpose of this relationship?
That's
Is
right.
it my assignment to give value to that person, or is it their assignment to bring,
value to
or
me.
is it for both of us to give and take from
Yeah,
each other
That's
and
right.
to bring whatever God
Yes.
wants to bring?
Yes.
That's right.
So yeah, we do ask that question,
Yeah. It's
and it's
Yeah.
okay.
And it's okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay to
Yeah,
do that.
absolutely.
And I think you ought to wait for an answer.
Oh, yeah, you should.
Oh,
Yeah, you
okay.
should.
When you ask that question.
So you hit the pause button
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to hit it in just a minute.
until you get an answer.
All right, guys. That's right. You put the pause button
Yeah, you
on
put the pause
anything
button.
until
Yeah.
you know, a lot of times I think that we talk in the wind and we don't wait for responses to come back. We just kind of jump over. It's kind of like what we were talking about our courtship and relationships. You don't stop because it could be your friends or
Yeah,
whatever.
anybody, but-
And we're just sometimes allowing people to come into space with us that's sacred before God. And before you know it, that space is all messed up
Yes.
with confusion,
Yeah.
with a whole
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
things. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're going to take a break in just a minute. So if you guys hang on with us, we're going to just pause for kind of some station identification. I think that's what they call it. And we'll be back in just a minute, guys.
Come back.
Come back.
Thanks for listening to Fishbowl Radio Network. And don't forget to catch All About STEM Radio every Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central in the Blue Stream. On there, you'll hear from Dr. Mary Payton, streaming live from South Korea, talking with teachers, students, and other business professionals about STEM programming and STEM schools. Don't forget to catch All About STEM Radio every Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the Blue Stream. That's Central Time. Jump in.
Guys, we want to thank you guys for joining us again here on Fishbowl Radio Network. It's a family affair, and we are really excited about what God was doing. Guys, while we were on our break, we were just talking about, I know I was anyway, talking about how I am actually enjoying my singleness. Now, 10 years ago, I would not have said any of this because I was so ready to be there,
Right.
wherever there
There
was.
That's right.
But I'm finding myself really enjoying
Sure.
the stage that I'm in,
Right.
what God is doing. When I tell you, He's getting the best out of me.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was looking in the mirror the other day. I don't know if y'all do this like I do, but I was looking in the mirror the other day and I said, God, I like what I see.
Absolutely.
Oh
Yes.
yes.
I
Oh
like
yes.
what I
I
see.
see.
I like what I
Yeah.
see.
I like the glow. I
Yeah.
like the sound. I don't know what it is inside that you're doing.
The fiber
Yeah.
of your existence.
Yes, yes.
But see, what happens is this: when your heart is full,
Yeah.
your eyes overflow.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
That's
to you.
what's happening. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah,
to you.
yeah, and I love it,
it's
y'all.
Radiant. It's radiant.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Marilyn, you got the
Yeah.
glow.
Oh
huh?
my God, I love
We gonna call her Glow
glow girl.
Glow girl.
That's what it
And a
is.
lot of it is
Yeah.
just finding purpose, you know,
Yes.
in like meeting the
Yeah.
needs of these young ladies. And y'all, we were coming in last week and we were breaking up into little small groups, and just to know that we're in their lives for a purpose. And
That's
one,
right.
Oh, yeah.
that they not have to make some of the mistakes that we've
Oh,
made down the road, and you
Yeah.
know, also being available. Let's kind of talk about that a little bit, about our availability
Sure,
during this stage
sure.
of singleness.
Okay.
You know?
Right.
Faith, kind of talk to us about where you feel like you're available at right now.
I'm laughing because I'm really thinking about that. Where am I available?
Yeah.
You know, if you look at my schedule, I'm really not available, but I do believe in priorities,
Yeah.
and it's
yeah.
where your heart lies and where you put your priorities in place.
That's right.
And sometimes it's difficult to have yourself. Sometimes I feel like a pie. And if you all like to eat pie, you take a slice per slice per
Yeah.
slice. And sometimes all your slices are not even.
Okay.
So you have to cut it in the portion that you feel that you should either take or need at that time.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like I might be giving my all, but because I believe in it so much, I
Yeah,
believe in,
right.
in what the purpose, the destiny, and what my assignment is. I have to push sometimes. I have to
Yeah.
push past the pain, past the
That's
hurt,
right. That's right.
past the sacrifice.
yes.
I do believe that, even in what we do, family out there, thank you so much. I got to say thank you for taking the time just to listen to us,
That's
Yeah.
right.
just to chime in and listen. And we
Yeah.
want your input. We want to know what your heartbeat is. We want to know how you feel, those who are single and those who might have just crossed over into
Yeah.
Right.
marriage from singleness.
Yeah.
Right.
We need you too. We're not walking this
That's
walk
right.
by
That's right.
ourselves,
That's
but we
right.
just want to thank you for coming out and joining us on either the app or the web page or our Facebook Live pages. We thank you and we appreciate you because you're a part of our family. Because it is a family affair. It takes a whole village to raise a child, and
Lord.
we're some adults, but we still need
that
help.
village.
And we still need that village to help us out.
Yeah.
But just going back to what you were saying, we do need to make time, not only for us, but I think we need to give back to the generation,
Yeah.
to the younger generation.
Yeah.
When I was in Orlando, there's so many different programs that John Maxwell was promoting, and different programs that you could mentor and really reach out to the community. And one is dealing with the youth. It's called Youth Max.
That's right.
And I just felt impressed that maybe next year that might be a platform or something that we need to do here in the community is reach out to the youth and empower them in the July time frame, August time frame, to get their mind set and ready and prepared for the next year's
That's
school.
right. I believe
And I
that.
believe that
I do
some
too.
of our children might not be walking and activating in the areas where they should because they really are not affirmed in those
right.
areas.
That's right.
Because our children are leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it was some paraphernalia that, well, not really paraphernalia, but there were things that I bought and brought back with us that had like the little rubber wristbands that say you are a leader.
That's right.
That's documenting and defining who they are.
That's right.
Everything had a leader. A pen, I bought sets of pens. You are a leader. And see, having that affirmation and having that instilled in them when they walk in the school doors on the day that they start their next year, they're speaking that to themselves. They're reading that.
That's
I'm a leader.
That's right.
You're
That's
a
right.
leader, Joe.
Right.
Marilyn, you're a leader. I'm a leader. We don't have to have a title on our name
That's
to
right.
be a leader.
That's right.
And
That's
I think that, the time that we're single, that's the time that we need to be giving back to our family, our family first, our children, our grandchildren, our nieces and nephews, to the community, to our church family, and reach out and touch people that we don't know.
That's right.
That's what we're
Absolutely.
supposed to go out. I believe in a church without walls.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
we know that those of us, we're going to come in the church house.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to be impacting those who are not in the church walls.
That's right.
So how we're going to do that if we're stuck up in our house with the door closed? Even single ladies, you want to desire a relationship? You think a man is going to materialize to your front door and say, I want you, he never met you before? We're not doing that. What's that show on TV now? A 90-day relationship? I don't know what this, all these bachelorette programs. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you all look at that stuff, I'm sorry. I'm not being judgmental. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. But how are you going to meet somebody if you don't show yourself friendly?
That's right.
If you're not doing things, going bowling. It's nothing wrong about going to the movies. Now, I know in some areas, some believers feel like the movies is of the devil and all that other stuff. But, it says have life and have it more abundantly. Abundant means giving. Abundant means living. It means dwelling in the land, right? Dwell in the land. And you will reap
Yeah,
100-fold.
Yeah.
Even if the ground is hard, if you dig and put some seeds down in there and water it, God waters it, you're going to get an increase. And you have to have an increase in your life socially as well as spiritually. You got to be balanced.
Yeah, that's right.
We got to be balanced, but it means with availability, being available.
And
I'm
that's-
sorry, am I going too
No,
far? I'm
no,
sorry.
no, you're doing good. You're doing real good. And it's going beyond you. And
Right.
I think, sometimes, and I think we've said it on maybe a various shows, you have to get past you.
Yeah.
Get over you. And understand that life is not about getting and having.
That's
it's
right.
about being and giving.
Yes.
A giver never loses.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
it's
that's
a
so
law.
hard to understand sometimes,
Yeah.
Joe. Oh my God.
to understand that there's got to be a change.
That's right.
It's got to be a change in the way you think.
Yeah.
I was listening to you. You said you weren't the same 10 years ago.
10 years
is not the
ago.
person you are today, and that's good because there's growth.
That's
The
right.
one
Right.
thing I heard you say
That's
was
right.
this, and
Yeah.
it's so vital.
Yeah.
You said, "I'm doing things for God."
That's right.
Right,
That's
right.
right.
And see, when you do things for Him,
Yeah.
you can expect things from Him.
That's right.
He
All right.
unfolds
That's right.
Yeah.
His life
That's
in
right.
front of you.
That's right,
Because
Joe.
this, Marilyn, you're being led by the Spirit.
That's right.
What does that tell me, Joe Williams? It tells me He can do more with my life than I can.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah.
Our life,
Yeah.
and that,
Yeah.
that's the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, no one can be as close to you as Him.
Yeah. That's right.
He's with you and within you.
That's right.
Nobody
That's
can
right.
get that close.
You know what, Joe? I don't know about other people, but in my truth state, there were so many times when I was doing the will of God and got distracted.
Yes.
Ooh,
You
distraction.
know, literally got distracted by a desire that was in your heart
Yeah.
that was out of time.
Yes.
Right.
And then you find yourself you're splitting yourself. It's kind of like you're having an adulterous affair.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
you got God, but you got a sweet thing on the other side over here,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
and you're barely giving the way that you should.
Yeah.
And eventually, what's going to happen? Somebody's going to lose
Oh,
on
ain't
one
no
end or the
question.
other.
Yes.
And I found myself in those states many times
Sure.
because I know that I love God. I know that I appreciate what God was doing. But sometimes the waiting season was just seemed like it was so long. 10
Sure.
years ago, that's how it
Oh,
felt.
yeah.
And then you find yourself in harm's way somewhere.
absolutely.
You're jumping the gun. You're compromising.
Right,
And
right.
I've been there so
Right.
many times to compromise.
Yes.
But you finally reach a place in your life. When I go back and look in hindsight, you're the only one that never left God. You're the
Right.
only one that never left, because everything else has a tendency to be torn apart and pulled apart or whatever. And you finally say, God, I want to finish this course with you.
That's right.
Now we have an opportunity to see what God is going to bring
Oh,
your way.
absolutely,
Don't
yes.
don't lose your spot.
Don't lose this.
Let God bring in whatever He wants to bring.
That's
in,
right. That's
you
right.
know, and that's a conversation that I think we, as mature Christians, need
Yes.
to present to the younger generation
do.
to wait your turn.
To wait your
Everything
turn.
that God has designed for your life. If you're in a single state right now, just understand that's just temporary.
That's
If you
temporary.
want it to be temporary,
but
and
it-
just know in God's time and in
Right.
His due season,
Due
God will
season.
bring in
Yeah,
what's for
absolutely.
You should reap if you faint
If you
not.
faint
Yeah,
not.
right.
Exactly.
And understand, due season is His season.
Yes,
Even
yes.
when you ask of God, first of all, you spend more time waiting than receiving.
That's right.
Because
That's
you
right.
know when it's best for you.
Yeah,
Not you.
that's right.
If you
Right.
know what's best for you, why are you asking Him?
That's right. That's to begin with.
Yeah, you kinda, circumvent
Okay.
what you're doing.
Okay.
You know, I'm waiting up on the Lord. He said, wait.
That's right.
But do something while you're waiting.
That's right.
Work on
That's
you.
right. That's right. That's
He
right.
gets big doing the kingdom business.
Yes, yes.
What does work on you mean, Joe?
Work on you mean making you a better you.
Hmm.
You know, don't wait begrudgingly. Like, God ain't sent me nothing. Well, because of your attitude, man.
Could be.
Why ain't gonna send you something? What are you doing for Him?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, He gives us this. Right. He gives us the gift of life.
Of life.
Okay.
So, if He gives us the gifts of life, I say to self, if He gives me the gift of life, wouldn't it be good if I give Him my best life?
That's right.
As
That's
a gift
right.
back to Him?
That's
Yes.
right.
Being, honor Him as my Father
Okay.
and live like His Son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Christ likeness. So, I would be in the will of God.
that's right.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm a very outgoing person.
Yes.
I'm not an introvert, but
No.
you do.
Not
Okay,
at
did
all.
y'all hear that?
Not
Did
at
you-
all.
did
I'm
you-
inclined to agree with you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupt your flow.
Okay.
But I
Oh
love
my
you.
God. Okay, I love you too, Joe. Well, anyway, wait. Anyway, but okay. So if someone is not if someone's an introvert and maybe not really 100% introvert, maybe a little shy, what can we do as a friend, or what suggestions that we can give our radio audience if they need to have examples or things that they could do in order to give some suggestions on how to get out the house, how to get involved? What are some of the things that you do, Joe and Marilyn,
Yeah.
to, cultivate this life that we live in outside of just, going to church or going to work or going to the grocery store? Or what are some activities that we can do as being single that,
You know what I'm enjoying now? I'm
What?
enjoying my friendships, my girlfriends.
Mhm.
We've not spent a lot of time with each other in the past years or whatever, and we have on purpose started getting together for
Sure.
just little get-togethers. Like last Sunday, we got together and we went to the comedy club. We went to go see.
Yeah.
what's his name, Tommy Davidson, and
Oh, really?
You know, a lot of times we won't go place because we already know they speak all kind of foul
that's
language
right.
or whatever,
Yeah.
but you gotta learn how to separate yourself
Oh,
from that. But
absolutely,
we
yeah.
enjoyed it, we laughed, we had a
Yes,
good
yes.
time.
Right.
Faith, another thing that I do, I go to dinner by myself.
All right, and enjoy it
I
too.
do. I go by myself. I'll get my granddaughter sometime. My granddaughter enjoys going out with me from time to time.
Right.
But then there are times when I just want to do stuff by
By
myself.
yourself.
I don't know about y'all, but in Dallas, they got Tuesday night movie night at what is it at the Studio Moving Grill. $5
What?
Tuesday. And guess where I park at on Tuesday night? At the movies.
Oh, wow.
$5.
$5.
Yeah, and
Are they
sometimes-
the new movies?
Yeah, it's up to date movies.
absolutely.
And I go in there, and that's like my resting time. I go eat dinner there. They got the chairs that
Oh,
rear back.
okay,
and
but you
stretch
can
out.
order food.
You
in
can
it?
order food there.
Where is that located?
They got it over here at Lincoln Plaza. They've
Oh,
got it
okay, in
at
Arlington. That's in
Heights.
Arlington,
It's in
right?
Arlington. Yeah,
Off of
$5
30?
Yeah, $5 Tuesday.
In
guys.
Collins, huh?
In Collins. It
Okay,
really is.
okay.
So I go in, and every Tuesday it's like, all right, this is your nightmare.
Okay, DFW.
Yeah.
You hear that? We can have a meet up at the movie gallery and have dinner on Tuesdays with Maryland.
My God, I love and then, like, if you want to, you know how it is when you're singing, you may have to kind of cut back on, your spending or whatever. Find those meals that they got discounted.
You know what? I had my grandkids here for almost a month. I just miss them too. And so I saw on TV where they had, what is the all you can eat food play
What?
what's the name of that restaurant? Where the buffet.
Buffet, Chinese restaurant?
No,
What?
regular food.
You
What's-
talking about-
Golden Corral.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be used to replace Wyatt's and
Yeah.
you know how Sunday after church everybody after church go to Wyatt's. But anyway, Golden Corral. They had 99 cents per child if you go during the week.
Yes.
What?
So I called. I said, y'all still got that special offer, 99 cents. I got all these children right now. And if you know me right now in this season, I don't like to cook.
Yeah.
I'm not really into cooking. So, they said, no, we just closed down on that special. I said, oh, shucks. I wanted to take them kids and let them have
Yeah.
it. But I finally did take them, though. But, oh, my goodness. But, sometimes I guess we got to search around for some things. I know tonight we're here. But over at Lake Hubbard, out 30, they had Kirk Whalum. Do y'all like music?
Oh, I do. I love Kurt Whalum.
Kirk Whalum is there tonight with they have a black group called the Yacht Club, the Black Yacht Club, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, the boaters over there. They're
What?
sponsoring Kirk Whalum's a white party, I don't want to know it's a party, but it's a all white affair.
Right.
And Althea Renee, she's a flutist,
Yeah.
a flautist
Yeah.
from Houston, and then also Michael Ward. He plays jazz violin, and the tickets are pretty reasonable.
Okay.
But they're having the event over there at the Hilton Resort over there on the
wish
lake.
I knew that.
I know we
would've
could have
been-
done a
we
live.
coulda- yeah,
Oh, we
we
could have
sure
done a
coulda
live
had.
radio show right there with Kirk
my
Whalum.
sister said Groupon.
Groupon.
Go to Groupon and find everything you
Okay.
need. You want to go places that may be a little expensive.
Yes.
Kick up Groupon and find a lot of stuff. That's how I found out about that $5 Tuesday at the movies.
Absolutely.
I started
think it's
going on
moving
there,
around.
and then I started buying like 5 at a time. I'm like, I'm gonna be going all month,
Yeah.
so I need to go and grab all my tickets
But
right
I
now.
mean,
So
but that's enjoying your singleness.
yeah, yeah.
And you really saying to yourself, I don't have to have
It's
company
okay.
everywhere I go.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think when you're comfortable with you like you
Yeah.
were saying something about you look in the mirror and you saying,
I like
who
me.
I am. Yeah. And when you say, well, why is that vital?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
vital for this reason.
yeah.
You are the window through
That
which
everybody
you
looks
see
in. That's
the
right.
rest of the world.
That's right.
Yeah.
Joe. I love that.
You are the window.
Yeah.
Because the way you see yourself
Yeah.
is how you see them out
That's
here.
that is so
Everywhere
true.
you go.
Yes,
I love
everywhere you
that.
go.
Everywhere
I
you
love
go.
it. I love
And
it.
it's so important. You was talking about the young people. you know, you catch them where you are.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if they come to the office, I catch them at church, I catch them at the gym. I just catch them, and I try to get them, engage them. You have to engage them.
Yeah.
I know a young man that I shook his hand and he was looking down. I said, no.
Hold your head
a
up.
big boy. Raise your, be proud.
Yeah.
Shake my hands.
Yeah.
This is the way you shake my hand.
Yeah.
And he said, you right, sir.
Yeah.
And see, that's simple.
Yeah.
But it may change him. Let him know
That's
he's important.
That's
he's
right.
important to the world. You
Yeah.
got ideas. Bring them forward.
Yes.
Creativity.
That's
Yes.
right. That's
You know,
right.
and people need to get away from this society will box you. The society wants you to fit in, not stand out. Our kids are smart.
Yeah.
Yes,
got
they are.
ideas.
That's right.
They just gotta be encouraged.
That's
and
right.
nurtured
That's
along.
right.
That's right.
And hopefully inner setting, but
Yeah.
even if it's not inner setting,
Yeah.
one-on-one,
Yeah.
let them know, look, man, the future looks good.
You know what? And I think about men. I don't know about y'all, but a man that is following his dream and his passion for God is attractive to me.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
He is
Very.
so attractive because you know that he's not out there trying to grab at the rest of the world and all of those. He's just in his space. He's focused. That's exactly
Focused.
what it is.
Well, how you know?
Yeah.
What come out of it?
Oh,
What he do?
say that
Okay.
What
again,
is it?
Joe.
Like,
Where's he
what come
going?
out of it?
That's
If
right.
something is important to you, you do it.
Yeah.
If you
Uh-oh.
got a love for God, people should know.
That's right.
I don't
That's
have
right.
To be a Bible told.
Yeah.
You
I see-
don't.
I see it
See,
in
I
your
like
walk.
that. Yeah, you
Yeah.
said
I
in your
don't have
walk.
to do it.
Yeah.
I don't
I
have
agree
to
with that.
Oh, listen, how to fast? Like, what you say? I didn't say hello.
He said about
No, listen, how to fast. Let's be shouting. You like,
And
wait a
scaring
minute,
you
hold up.
half to death.
Hold up. You like, whoa. Hold up, man.
I've had that happen to me. Somebody come up and I'm jumping. I'm like, okay. You know, because you're focused and thinking of you know, whatever you're thinking about, somebody catch you off guard like that.
like
And
they
you
trying to
hopping
convince
like,
you.
They're trying to
jumping back.
convince you. Yeah.
And it's not, it don't have to be that.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
it doesn't.
Just be in your
I
place.
think Joe is a focused man.
I think he is too,
I
y'all.
sure was trying. I tried to stay focused.
He is focused. And,
Hey, you know, for those who, I don't mean to interrupt, but for those who are just joined us, I guess we need to kind of go over what we're talking about
Yeah.
today. What is our topic?
Yeah,
Single life.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the singleness. And at our age, around this table, we're like mid 40s to early mid 50s, so close to 60. We kind of like marginal in there, you know. And but you know, we do have singles out there in our audience and our family that are younger than us, and we really we might know some things that might be able to help you through and get through this season.
Yeah.
And you know, that's a whole nother
Conversation.
but you know, we do have some that are younger. They want to get out. They want to do things. You know, you meet back in the day, you used to meet folks at the club and all these places. Now, you know, it's really, it could be dangerous to get out there at night for women, especially for women going out. So what do young or mid-age single women do to run or find, not for us to find a man, but, you know, some of us like companionship. We might not want to have a relationship. We just might want to go to the movies. Or we might just want to have a conversation or have some salad and a soup.
Do you think people do those kind of things now without thinking that there's a it's got to end
Some
in
ties?
something? Ties to it. Are people doing that to where they can just honestly say, "Hey, I just want the companionship. I just want to go to lunch," or
I don't know. Maybe we need to, you know, we are going to open the lines up for our second half of the show.
Yeah,
we're
we
about
got a
ready
couple
to do
minutes.
that. But, you know, if anybody has any comments or anything they want to talk about, let me just
Call that number
Let me
out.
give you that number. The number is area code 214-431-5062. And so we would like to hear from you guys. We would like to know what's on your mind, what's on your heart. I'm saying we don't know all the answers, but if we don't have an answer, we will sure get you one. We'll bring it back next week. We're accountable. We have integrity, so we're going to come back with it. But we do want to give that number out, and please share what's going on. Hit that share button on Facebook Live and let people know that we are out here. We're here every Saturday from 5 to 7 Central Standard Time and from 6 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. So we just want to get out there and let people know that it's a family affair. We care for you, and we want to address the issues that are affecting you and affecting our lives. And hopefully we can all walk this journey together in unity. And so we were talking about singleness.
And the one thing, too, that I think, if I'm speaking for the group here or the team, even my brother Alvino, the one thing we all have, is we're seeking God. In your singleness, put him first.
Put him first.
Put him first. That's an order. And everything after that kind of
it's going to come.
It will come.
What it says, in all your ways, acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. That's right.
And I think sometimes when you're not looking, that's when you find it.
That's when it comes.
Wow. When you taking care of
but
you.
Didn't the Bible say that he that finds a wife, finds a
good thing. That's right.
From God.
And the opportune thing with young ladies and young men is be ready. Be ready.
Get your stuff in order.
Be
Get
ready.
your walk on. Walk with it. And then, like I say, people can tell when you're walking with it. It just kind of, it vibrates. It comes from you. It's kind of vibration.
Joe, what are some things that men can do to, when you say get ready or be ready, what does that look like?
That looks like, first of all, killing pride. Pride got to go out the door, bury it. I don't know what you do, run over it, step on it,
do something with it.
Burn it.
Whatever you do.
What about burn it?
Yeah, you can burn it up. Just burn it up.
Does pride bring, maybe some...
Pride competes against God.
Ooh,
oh, really?
It competes. Yeah. I mean, I'm prideful.
Puffed up, maybe?
God does not humble that. God respects humbleness.
Yeah.
And you never walk with God.
Some people think pride is a good thing when they feel good about who they are or their family. The pride. This is the so-and-so family of this certain, place, this city, and everybody knows they're highfalutin or whatever, whatever adjective.
Highfalutin.
High and falutin.
High and falutin.
Yeah, high and falutin. But, some people have a pride of their family, and they think that's something that's really great. But when it gets too big, when you can't let anybody in, or where you can't share, or you hide it, or you keep it close to you because you don't want to share. I think that's when God shuts his hand. Like he gives us an open door, an open hand, and he has provisions in his hands. And then when we are not empowering, when we're not giving, when we're not loving, especially loving, because it said we don't love, we're nothing. So if that's just basic, and we're not giving and we're not having compassion and that love, then his hand closes up.
That's right.
And we have to get back in his face and get back in his commune with him in relationship, and then his hand starts to open, and those provisions come back. I can just say for myself, when I started to forgive, and I mean it goes all the way back from the beginning, things that were done to me in the beginning of the relationship, all the way through, when I started to forgive those years of hurt and distrust and things like that, then promotion started to come in my life.
That's right.
God started to promote me and open up doors for me that nobody else, opportunities that nobody else could do for me but him.
That's right.
And giving me favor.
Yes,
and that favor has continued to matriculate even to today.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I believe that,
I,
Faith.
I truly believe that
Yeah.
because I'm ready to give.
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
At one point, I couldn't give anything.
That's right.
I couldn't give any money. I couldn't when I saw donations and I wanted to
Yeah,
be a
wanted to
part
be a part of it.
financially with my church in certain areas, the building fund, all those different things that we can join on and say, hey, Pastor, we're with you.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. So what I had to do is I had to serve. I said, God,
Oh,
I don't
that's
have
good.
it.
Yeah.
I said, I don't have the money to put $1,000
Yeah.
in the offering,
Yeah.
but I have my service to give.
right.
Yeah.
I have my love to give.
Go
I
ahead,
have
man.
I have the abilities
I
to
can
reach
cook.
out. I could pick up somebody and bring them
serve. That's
them to
right.
church.
That's right.
I
That's
could
right.
just extend myself to God and say, use me, and,
Yes.
and I'm tithing myself to
Yes.
Him.
That's right.
And I think that's something that we can do. So don't let finances stand in your way
That's right.
to
Oh,
do
wow.
what God has called you to
That's
do.
right.
Don't
Absolutely
ever
right.
let that.
That's right.
Give of yourself. Give your
That's
gift
right.
to
Yeah.
God.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Faith.
What they used to have an old saying that what you can't beat God given.
That's
No
exactly
matter
right.
how hard you
try.
try. That's right.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
goes back to the concept of give and never lose it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a law.
Yeah,
And not only that, it's God's law.
that's right.
Right.
And,
That's
and,
right.
and if you follow the law, He says, sowing and reaping
Yeah,
Sowing and
will
reaping.
be as long as the earth is the
as
earth.
long as
Yes,
the earth remains.
seed time and
yeah.
harvest.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
Come
That's
on.
right.
Days and nights.
That's
Talk to
right.
me.
All
Yeah.
right now.
Talk
And
to
you know
me.
what, Joe?
Isn't
That's a good point to bring up that law of sowing and reaping.
Yes.
That singleness may be your sowing season
Yes.
Uh-oh.
for a harvest that
To
you're
reap.
trying to reap later
Okay.
on
Okay.
in life.
Exactly
And the
Ooh.
Bible says you can't eat and sow at the same
No,
time.
you
You're not going to
can't.
be able to do
Yeah,
both of them at the same
absolutely.
time.
So could that be
Yeah.
some of our problems of why Mr. Right or why
Of course it
Mrs.
is.
Right or Miss Right
Yeah.
hasn't walked across
we
your
want to eat
path
in our sowing
because we
time.
haven't
exactly
sold
right.
We haven't
anything?
sown
Yeah.
anything.
We
Yeah.
haven't given of ourselves. And sometimes we can put too much attention on those areas where we feel like we should have.
Yeah,
Like, why
entitlement.
hasn't he come
Yeah,
yet? Why
yeah.
hasn't he knocked on my door yet? Why haven't I been out on that date or whatever?
Yeah.
Could
yeah.
it be
Ain't
because
nobody
we
knocking
haven't
on the
given?
door?
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. When
Right.
the last time you knocked on the door?
Oh, yeah.
I'm you know what Joe was saying something a few minutes ago. You know, you are the reflection that everybody else sees out there. And when you think about it, whatever is coming back in your life right now is a reflection
Oh,
of
absolutely.
what you're putting out
You
there.
got
That's
to
right.
Check your soul.
That's exactly
Check your-
right.
Check yourself.
That's
Check
right.
yourself.
And like Faith was saying, it's not. It don't have to. It's time, money, and energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Serve
That's
your-
right.
Be a servant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's greatest among you must be the servant
That's-
of all.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
To whom much is given,
If it-
what?
much is required. I see my family out there. I see
Yeah.
a lot of them
Call-
coming in.
call
Come
it
on
coming
in.
Cause and
Yeah, my
effect.
Facebook family
That's what I'm saying.
is coming
Yeah.
in.
Cause and effect.
Yeah.
See, when your life is elevated, you got new language. You don't talk the old language anymore.
Speak.
That's
Joe.
right. You got a
Yeah.
You don't
new.
talk. You got.
You have a new vernacular.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, for who? Go, vernacular.
Vernacular. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
That's,
Yes, it is. Elevate.
I'm lost. Hey, I'm lost for words.
No, you don't. No, you not. That one a whole lot. We love that place. We really do. Yeah. It's just like you said. It's kind of like music is the vernacular of the soul.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it has soulish meaning,
Yeah.
but we bring all this to the table.
That's
Yes,
right.
to the
And
table.
like you said, Faith, you said I couldn't do it monetarily, but
Yeah.
I spend my
Yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm.
People find out what your gift is.
Yeah.
serve it
And
to
make
the
room
world.
for, and he'll make room
We
for
serve
you.
it.
We've got a lady on here that's saying that she's in her Esther phase.
Oh.
Do we understand what that means?
Can you call in? Whoever
Yeah.
that is,
Yeah,
the
that's
number
the thing.
is 214 area code 431-5062.
Yeah. And Esther, yeah.
Yeah,
and she was
Esther.
presenting herself to
Okay.
Mordecai. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to
Or
hear.
the king. She was presenting herself to the king.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you with
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
I think that's a great state to be in also.
Oh, yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that we're in a preparation time.
That lady in waiting.
Adornment, you know. I want to make myself presentable, you know.
And that comes with that self-love.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And if you don't like who you are, change you.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, I just got something. Something just hit me in my spirit.
All right.
What about your fragrance?
Ooh, how it's smelling to other people.
Yes. You know, are we bathing in the right scents and
Yeah.
the right oils?
So
all those things, the fruits of the spirit. Are we bathing ourselves in that?
Yeah.
You know, are we clothing ourselves in the right things? Even a gentleman, you know, you always want to smell. A man should smell good. You know,
anyway.
we don't want a musty man. You know, we don't want. He don't want a musty woman either. That I think that infuriates a man more than it would a woman. Joe just turned up his nose.
Like, no.
I think all you all on Facebook, you can see Joe's nose. It went straight up like Pinocchio. It went straight up like Pinocchio.
It just don't make sense. So if it don't make sense, it's nonsense. I know.
You don't want. How you want your woman to look, Joe?
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing about it is this. I've learned in life, it's really, people look for the outside.
The outward appearance.
And nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But that needs to be enhanced. I want to know the real you. That's the one on
Right.
the inside.
The
That's
inside.
the one that can hide. But if I see your heart
Yes.
and the way you deal with people,
Yes.
that's
Come on.
important. That's, I mean, if that's the walk I'm on, we need to be walking in unison.
Yeah.
Right.
Together.
That's right.
Because
That's right.
What, you know, you walking together, you going the same path, you growing in the things of God.
Right.
You have commonality.
Yeah.
You can still have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
To me, a person got to be able to laugh.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're too serious, I know this is serious business, but we
Oh,
have
You
to
gotta
yeah.
laugh
do it.
sometimes.
You gotta laugh. I mean, it's
Because
just
some
good.
stuff is just funny in
You
life.
got to.
Right?
Some things if you can't make better, you gotta laugh. at.
That's exactly right.
And
that's
that
right.
is, and I think you got to be able to do that. It's a certain. It gets us, Marilyn and Faith. I think laughter gets us over the evils of life, the atrocities,
my God.
and all of
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
'Cause it's just
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
so much. That's why we have to have a shepherd.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta have a shepherd. We can't do this thing by ourselves.
Do you
Well, we
guys
sing it.
do
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
guys think that, you know, how, you know, back in our younger or unsaved days where we loved maybe secular music, we loved to dance, you know, do you think that's something that you still can incorporate in who you are?
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely.
and not feel guilty about it or anything like
It's
that.
who we dance, who we're dancing up to.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
are we dancing for the Lord?
Yeah, we got
in the
a caller
Lord?
that's calling
Uh-oh,
in,
come on,
so
get the
let's
caller.
see if I
Let's get
can't answer this phone right.
Yeah. Please bear with us if
All right,
if
caller,
they're not.
we
Are they
wanna hear
on?
from you. They're on now.
Ooh, come on, caller.
We want to hear from
Yeah,
you.
come on, caller.
Hello.
Hi.
You asked me to call in about my Esther phase.
Yes. Who is this?
Nancy.
Hi,
Hey, Miss Nancy.
Miss
Share with
Hello.
us about, you know, I think that's an interesting topic to talk about, and because a lot of people don't understand about being in that Esther phase. Kind of tell us, you know, what you're thinking with that. What your experience is right now.
For me personally, I just feel that from my personal point of view, I felt like if I'm not satisfied with what I see, no one else is going to be satisfied. So I figured transform what I see. So that includes doing the hair, doing the nails. And of course, you know, you do the general maintenance like bathing and all that. But,
All right.
you know,
Do that.
Okay.
basically, you know, just make myself more appealing on the physical side as well as, you know, trying to lose weight and things like that. But once again, if I don't like what I see, I don't expect that someone else is going to like what I see. And that's what I'm doing with my Esther phase. And also, Mr. Joe was speaking about the person's character, and that's also part of my Esther phase because I'm one of these people who don't laugh. And, you know, that's part of one of the things that I'm trying to work on is my personality and trying to learn to laugh at life and things like that because everything doesn't have to be so serious.
That's right. That's right.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true, Miss Nancy. I really appreciate you calling and you know you're a part of the family. you know you're a part of our family, and we really appreciate you sharing that. Esther, you know, even Ruth, you know, Ruth was an awesome woman, but she came from one place, went from point A to point B, and in that in-between time, when she was gleaning in the field, she was doing something. Like we had talked about earlier, we need to be available and do something and be fruitful about what we're doing. And people are looking at us. We might not think no one is observing what we're doing and how we're carrying out our lives, or even at work, you know, marketplace, you know, ministering to others. But they look at us, they look what God is doing for us in our lives. They look at how God is elevating us and how we're really applying ourselves
exactly
to what he is giving us availability to. So I think it's great that we serve him and serve ourselves first.
Work on yourself.
Work on us.
And
You know,
and one of the things I notice is that if you keep hearing repeated things about your attitude or about, you know, this or this disposition, sometimes you have to take a look inside to see if maybe there is something to that because, you know, the way that we appear to the rest of the world, it may not be so much of your concern, but I think it needs to be a thought to think about it. Am I really presenting those things? So,
and that comes from personal examination of oneself. It
does,
and I always said, and we've been talking about it today, you can always make you better. I hear her taking that upon her shoulders.
Yes, I love that.
Because you got to realize nobody's responsible for that. For a better you, nobody is responsible except you.
Except for you.
That's on you. And do it for yourself, not for others.
That's right.
I mean, the thing about it, that's important. To make you a better you, you preparing, you becoming. You moving. You changing. You know, you becoming a better you. You revealing stuff you didn't know about yourself.
That's right.
And God does that. Because the hope is within you that you give the world. But again, transforming you into a better person, doing the things that God have us to do. Physical fitness.
That's right.
And spiritual fitness. That's what we need.
Now, y'all, Joe is into physical fitness a lot. He said, Joe, how often are you at the gym?
5 days a week.
5 days
5 days
a week.
45 a week. For 28 years now.
For 28.
Wow.
As long as I can remember, he's been at the gym.
So that's why you're so fit.
Joe
looks like he's a teenager.
He does look like he's a teenager.
I'm going to put your check in the mail.
I'm going to be looking for it, too. I'm going to look for my check.
Hold me accountable.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Nancy, for calling in. We definitely appreciate it, and we are definitely praying for you on your journey. And with your Esther walk, I just say make that fragrance smell so well. That it draws everything that you need to you, because I really believe that God He's answering those prayers.
Yes, He is. He is. Do we have anyone else would like to call in and share with us about your experience, your singleness, or what you're doing, things that might help someone else? Because even though, you know, we're live right now, after we say goodbye for today, there are going to be others that still will be looking, you know, and viewing this live broadcast. So, you know, it's never too late to share, and sharing is caring. So if you could either share or call in to area code 214-431-5062, we would appreciate it.
Yes. Well, guys, I tell you, the this place that we are in, even with our relationship together, I'm enjoying that, you know, because Y'all, we get a chance to meet every Saturday morning in our time of devotion together. We're planning for different things that we're doing with the show. And what I notice is that we are becoming better together.
Yes, we are.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
We're
stronger
we're
together.
becoming
Yeah,
stronger.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And guys, we started this journey a little while back, and I'm still at awe at how God chose us to come together.
Yes.
You know, we all
Right.
have our strengths, we have our weaknesses, we
Yes.
have our experiences in life, and more than anything else, we have that love that goes beyond these walls that we are in right now.
absolutely,
And
yes.
I'm just grateful.
Yeah,
for that.
I am
Yeah.
grateful as well.
Yeah.
I am so grateful because it starts with obedience
Yeah.
to some degree, and I know we're not 100% in all areas of
Yeah.
our lives, but for us to be together, somebody had to join us together, and Marilyn is one person that kind of joined us together
Yeah.
in this platform. Even though I knew Mr. Joe a little bit before
Yeah.
from other associations, but with Alvino and also Marilyn, all of us coming together, it was definitely, thank you, Marilyn, for being obedient,
absolutely.
for
Yes.
going forward with that, because if not, God's gonna have his way regardless.
Yes, he
Right,
will.
that's
So
Right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you. It's
Yeah.
okay to say thank you.
Yeah,
Oh,
I believe even that the more pure our heart is, the more of purity comes back to you.
Oh, I agree.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
agree.
We don't know always how to find what it is that we
Right.
need, but
Right.
God does.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And when the Bible says, when you make your ways pleasing before God,
Yeah,
He said He'll
absolutely.
give you the desires
Desires of your heart,
And
yes.
I say that to our single people as well. Y'all, I am experiencing a level of satisfaction with God right now that I longed for
Yes.
years.
Yes.
I'm trusting Him in my decisions
That's
that
right.
I'm making.
Yes.
I'm trusting Him with business ventures. When God says no, that's what He means.
That's exactly
It
right.
Right.
means no, you
Right.
know, with things that are improving and bringing betterment
Yes.
to your lives. And you don't have to give everybody an explanation as
No,
to
you
why you
don't.
do
No.
what you do.
No.
But when I know that God is happy with my journey,
Right.
He starts bringing people across my path, and everybody that
To
comes,
validate it.
they
Yeah,
validate
absolutely.
it
That's
and add to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
by four.
Yeah,
by
yeah.
four. It is. And, the one thing we learn is this. We all go through situations. But understand one thing. Hope never abandons us. We abandon hope.
Yeah, yeah,
So you have to keep your hope.
yeah.
And I always say, hope is faith holding out its hand in the dark.
Say that again, Joe.
Yeah, here we go, Joe.
Here we go. Say it again.
Hope is faith
Holding out
faith.
His hand
holding out its hand in the dark.
In the dark. Oh,
like
I
that.
like that
I'm
too.
gonna
Keep
put
hope.
that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, I think so.
Keep your hope.
Mhm.
We
Keep your
have
hope
to keep
alive.
our hope.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
So, how much longer do we have before we need to close
we
out,
are
Miss
getting
Mary?
ready to close out now.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
So, what's going on next week?
Well,
with
next
the
week
family?
we're coming back together. We're still talking about our singleness.
Oh, we are?
And
Okay.
guys, I think we need to come to a place to where we share truly from the testimonies of
Right.
places that we've been. You know how
Yes.
a lot of times when people see you and they may not believe what they see.
Yeah.
But the story that you see right now, that's not the way it's always
That's
been.
exactly
you
right.
That's
know.
true.
There
Yeah.
were some journeys that we've had to go through to
Yes.
get to this place of
Right.
settlement, and
Sure.
not settlement, but it's a
Maturity,
place,
maybe?
It's maturity,
Yeah.
and contentment.
Yes.
You know,
And peace.
and peace,
And
Ooh,
peace in the
yes.
Holy Ghost.
Yes, Lord.
Hey, have you ever taken a before and after picture? Or you have a before picture before you gave your life to Christ or rededicated your life back to Him,
Yeah.
and then you take a picture of how you look now, and you can
right.
see the differences.
Yeah, yeah,
Or even,
yeah.
you know how people they say when you get saved, your hands look new. You know, the wrinkles come out.
I think,
Or whatever.
we all need to take a selfie right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
The way we look right
Oh,
now
yeah.
is not the way it's
You're
gonna
gonna be.
this time
That's
next year.
right. So
Yeah.
that was just a
Yeah.
little piece of encouragement right
Oh,
there.
by
That
far.
just because today might not look as is happy, the sun is might not be shining in your life, does not mean that that's the end of your life.
That's right.
It's
That's
always a tomorrow.
That's
It's
right.
always a sunshine
right.
coming in.
That's right.
And sometimes we have to be like David. We have to encourage ourselves daily. Even if the sun is beaming
That's
Yeah.
right.
through your window, you
Right.
still have to encourage yourself.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the motives of people are not always pure. But we know that God is pure, God is love, and we love each other.
Oh,
We love
absolutely.
ourselves.
Yeah.
So we have to encourage ourselves
Yeah.
daily.
And
Well,
you-
guys, go ahead, Joe.
no, go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, we were getting ready. I know we've got to close out the show, but
Do we have to
definitely-
go?
I know, right?
I
When I
enjoy
tell
this
you,
time.
I love being around this group, but this is my cool back time in the evening, to where it's like taking that little drink of mocha, and you
Yeah.
can just
Oh,
relax
yeah.
and know that all is going to
Yeah.
be well.
Yeah.
So we say to each one of you that have joined in today, thank you guys so much for coming in to be a part of our world.
Yes,
and letting
we
us come in
appreciate
to
it.
be a part of yours as well. And we ask you guys to come in and join us every Saturday from
Yes.
5 to 7 o'clock p.m. right here in the Blue Stream.
Stream.
Yes,
And I
please
guarantee-
tell your friends, tell your family
Yep,
that
share.
we need them. Share about what we're doing.
Yeah.
And in this whole month of August, we're talking about
Singleness.
singleness.
Yeah.
And singleness doesn't always mean you're by yourself.
That's right.
'Cause
that's
we're a
right.
family
I love
affair.
it. I love it. Well, guys, we're going to say goodbye for now. It won't be forever, but for right now, we're going to say goodbye. And thank you guys for joining in with us. And we look forward to coming back on next Saturday from 5 to 7 o'clock p.m. So until that time, Mr. Joe, you want to leave us with a good nugget as we're leaving?
Oh, yeah.
Joe
I
loves
would
that.
say, this is what I would say to each and every one. Be yourself, because everybody else is already taken. Love
Ooh, I
yourself.
love that, Joe.
Yes,
I
Be
love
the
that.
person God wants you to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So return to your first love, God.
Yeah.
Be good.
Thank you, Joe, my
Thank you.
brother. Be blessed. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you on Saturday.
So sweet to trust in Jesus. Chance to tell him that his word and just to rest upon his promise and just to know the same.